Ah, we're live on the air. What's up? It's Omnidog here. Omnibuslive. I hit the button and forgot I hit the button. That's right, Omnibuslive on a special Friday edition because Lou and I were quite busy with our lives Wednesday night. That's right, some things take precedent over Omnibros. Not many, but in his case, it was professional. In my case, it was personal. I do have a personal life. Comic books come first. Yeah, that's true. But here I am, and here is the IST jingle. I don't care if you like it or not. I'm going to sing it anyway, to the tune of Mr. Plow. In Stock Trades is the place to shop with prices so low it'll make your jaw drop. Spend over $50 in the United States, get you your free shipping, which is really great. Extra 2% if you buy frequently with fabulous service. Her name's Emily. Fabulous packaging and frequent sales. Order from IST and get your books in the mail. Okay, that's InStockTrades.com. So, we're talking about Fantastic Four tonight. Did I say it right? Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four. And I am going to have that recorded, and there will be a beat. I'm going to have a professional music. I am going to have professional music from Nathan Burkholz. He's going to sing it. He'll have instruments and everything, and it'll sound a lot better. And I promise I won't sing it again until that happens. But when Lou comes on, we're going to be talking about Fantastic Four, which is timely because not only did the new issue just come out, Return of Fantastic Four, but I just got done with my Hickmanathon, which included Fantastic Four, and they play a key role in Secret Wars. And so I read a lot of Fantastic Four recently, so I feel qualified to talk about Hickman's Fantastic Four. I read Stan Lee stuff as a youth, but I haven't read Matt Fraction's or Allred's stuff. And so I'm semi-qualified. That's why I need a host. First, let me say something about something. I downloaded it, and I'm not a pirate. I pay for stuff. I get it. I understand. You guys, some of you out there are pirates. Fine, no judgment. Everybody does what they got to do. But $6? $6 for this? $6 for a comic book. That sucks. I'm telling you, that sucks, Marvel. $6 is what the trade's going to cost me after I get done with IST giving me my 50% discount when it comes out. $6? That siphon off some of that Disney money from Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever and funnel it into subsidizing these books so that little kids can get into them again. I can't even afford $6, and I'm an old man with money. What the hell? Okay, there's my rant. Sorry. We need to talk about the hip-hop artists that have influenced Jess. That would be one. Run DMC. That's it. Yeah, it took about 10 minutes to read. Now, I'm going to wait till Lou gets on to talk about the issue. Old man with money yells at book. Rawr! That's right. It's just too expensive. I don't see how kids are supposed to get into this hobby, and kids are the lifeblood of the industry, and you get $6 for an issue. I can see what... Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. I'm allergic to high prices, man. Kids are the lifeblood of this industry. If we're going to introduce them to comics, we've got to get them cheaper. $6 is a ripoff. It is a total and utter ripoff for a 20-page comic. Give me a break. Plus, there are 100 different variants. Who's into all that? If you're into all that, good for you, not me. I just sneezed. Yeah, that was a Black Bolt sneeze. So, there's my rant. And I'm just waiting for Lou to come on, and we'll talk about. I can talk about Secret Wars, which I loved, and Trigonosis. You'll be happy to know that I'm almost done with Avengers World. And when I get done with Avengers World, that means I'm starting Paul Jenkins' Sidekick. This will be the Gabriel readathon. So, Gabriel, you should be happy with that. I think Biggie's dead. I'm guessing he's dead. Didn't Tupac shoot him or something? I don't really remember. Yes, I'm going to be reading Heathen. I'm going to be reading all the books that everybody has been telling me to read, and I will get to all of them because this Hickmanathon has sucked up my whole summer, which is great. It's been great reading. I've loved it. I'm going to do a vid on it tomorrow on Secret Wars and Hickman's Avengers 2. I'll give you a little hint out there. Hickman's Avengers 2 cannot be understood unless you read Secret Wars, because God bless America, I was lost in Hickvengers 2. There's a huge time jump that they don't even tell you about, and I'm kind of going to be talking about that more at length in one of my videos. But as Omar says, a little editor's thing that says 8 months later or something would have helped. I have not picked up Henchgirl yet. I've heard it's good, though, but I haven't read that. I know Hickvengers is before Secret Wars, though, but you got to read Secret Wars after Hickvengers to understand what you just read, because it all makes sense. Hickvengers 2 all makes sense after you read Secret Wars. That's actually my point. Lloyd Wong, it looks like all the Marvel books are coming bi-weekly too, so you technically get 2 issues a month, so that's like $12. Bleh. I'm not into that, man. That's why I'm a trade waiter. It's way cheaper. Way cheaper. It's just way cheaper. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Let me check to see where Lou is. Let me see if he's checked in. Okay, he's joining as soon as he can. Okay, wait, I need to respond to this. Okay. So, why don't I take questions for the chat? Get a better job? Who needs a better job? I didn't... Oh, I have a job, and it's a great job. It pays a ton of dough. What are you talking about? I'm just saying, I think it's ridiculous. What's my favorite Wolverine omnibus? The only one I've read 2, Jason Aaron's and Mark Miller's. Those are the only 2 I've read. I need to read Wolverine Goes to Hell to finish that off. I have not read Gideon Falls. I have heard good things about it. Alex B, you think I will love Henchgirl? Okay, I'll give it a shot. I know that that gal. Here we go.
Hello.
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 Hello. You missed my rant on why this goddamn comic book costs $6.
Oh, we're talking Fantastic Four?
Yes, we are, and I can totally see now why people pirate comics.
Oh man, yeah. That was well. Give me a quick summation, real quick, of that rant, because I have similar feelings on that as well, and I enjoyed the book.
Yeah, I enjoyed it fine. It was great, but it was 20 pages for $6, and I mean, $6 is what the trade's going to cost me after IST gets a hold of it, and I just don't see how. I mean, for the chat, I apologize because I'm getting Lou up to speed here, but I just don't see how you're going to get any young readers into comic books when you charge $6. That's a lot of dosh, man. And I got dosh, and I'm reluctant to spend $6. I only bought that because I needed to read it for this show. I ain't buying that again for $6.
Not worth it. Totally.
No, it was, no.
Completely. Is this this was a double-sized issue, right? No.
It was? I don't think so. It took me like 10 minutes to read.
It's on my tablet. I mean, the main chunk of the Fantastic...
It's on my tablet, too. Let me look.
The main Fantastic Four thing is like 20 issues, and then there's like 2 backup stories, and that's it. There's no question. There's one backup story with Doctor Doom, and then there's one like 1-page thing with Scotty Young.
Oh, okay. I just read the Fantastic Four part. I didn't see this extra stuff.
Yeah, there's a Doctor Doom, which isn't that bad. It's actually okay. Like mini. And I thought it was okay. Didn't care for the art. And then there's like a 1-page Scotty Young thing involving the Impossible Man.
Okay, I see that now.
Which was actually really funny. I like the Impossible Man one.
I didn't see that, so, but it doesn't change my mind.
No, it's still not worth it. It's totally not.
Still outrageous.
Hi, Jess. How's it going?
Good, Lou. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. We were. I just got out of the restroom. Oof, bad day. But we were just watching Whiplash. My girl hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
What?
It sounds brutal.
Dude, you love music. You need to see Whiplash.
Okay.
No, it's required. Your love of music, you would absolutely love this movie. You like jazz, right? Like not,
yeah,
no voice jazz. I know you told me this, like just instruments.
Right.
You would love Whiplash.
Okay, isn't he really brutal on the drummer?
Like voice jazz.
He doesn't like voices in his jazz. Singing.
There's a word for that.
Anyway, back on topic.
The voices in my head keep tuned just fine.
Back on topic. Fantastic Four #1. This is the Fantastic Four episode that we are going to be covering. Did you do the IST plug?
I did. I sang a jingle that everybody hated.
Hey, oh, it's impossible for them to hate that. My thoughts, and we're just going to be shooting the shit a little bit today, talking Fantastic Four and all things Fantastic Four. I think it's only the first issue. Dan Slott, I think, has the voice of Johnny Storm down pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
The Thing, so, but he's there. We're talking spoilers for this, by the way. I dig it. I dig the first issue. It's not worth $6. There's no way in hell that's worth $6. That's an image trade on IST.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where it goes. I really am. Sarah Pacelli's art is fantastic for this. I really dug her art. I think she's got a great style, and I think it'll fit the Fantastic Four. As far as tone, I really hope that he's taking this kind of in an old school, fun, adventurous way, and I think that's where he's going, because we do see a little bit of that towards, like with the flashback scene where Johnny Storm has to sing in order to get back to Earth.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too. That was really cute. Overall, though, I'm cautiously optimistic, and I'm a bit disappointed that the Fantastic Four aren't actually back together in this issue, and they tease you a little bit, but they never get to it. Even in the backup, the Impossible Man story, like the Impossible Man is like, what was like he addresses it, like if he's a fan, he's like, what the hell is that? Like the Fantastic Four didn't even get back together in this issue, and then like somebody else is commentating on it saying, oh, don't worry, the Fantastic Four will get back together in the next issue. I'm like, okay, that's great, Dan Slott, but if you knew this was gonna happen, why'd you piss off the audience like that? Because there were some people that are genuinely upset about this, that they're like, what the hell? We thought the Fantastic Four were coming back in this issue, and they were advertising this for months, saying this is the return of the Fantastic Four, and they're not back in this issue.
Right. It gives you hope that they'll come back.
Right. And they flat out say it at the end of the, like that 1-page Impossible Man story, saying, don't worry, we know you guys are going to get pissed off at us. They're coming back next issue.
That's okay with me. It gives me hope, that they'll be back. So I'm okay with it. I understand what you're saying, though. And my rant was based on, I did not see the extra issues, the extra content. So mea culpa on that. That's my mistake. I did like the Steve Ditko tribute in the very beginning. That was really cool. That was really cool of them to do.
Yeah.
So Fantastic Four, Reed and Sue and the kids, the Future Foundation, they all went missing, or they knew where they were.
Did you finish that?
Secret Wars. I did. I finished it yesterday. I finished half of Hickvengers, the last half of Hickvengers 2 yesterday, and then I burned through this.
Are you tired of graphs yet?
Am I? There weren't that many graphs in that section of Hickvengers.
Yeah.
But I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, Secret Warriors had a ton of graphs.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked. I mean, the Fantastic Four figures heavily in this book, and I really liked the fact that Molecule Man was kind of rehabilitated in helping them recreate the universe. And spoilers for anybody that hasn't read Secret Wars, but I'm going to be spoiling it. I was unaware. Spoilers for people who haven't read the end of Hickvengers or Secret Wars. Spoilers, because I had no idea that the ultimate Earth was the one that was going to crash into Earth 616. I thought that was a bitchin' thing. And then they get to, in Secret Wars, they get to recreate all kinds of universes one by one. And I really dug that. I know I'm doing well, it's about Fantastic Four, so I'm doing a vid on Hickvengers 2 now that I understand it, because I didn't understand it until I read Secret Wars. Then I had to go back and leaf through it, and then it all made sense.
Yeah. I'm curious how Slott is going to handle Reed's son, Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
Because Franklin's basically a god at the end of Secret Wars. He's pretty much a god at this point. He could do whatever he wants. So I'm wondering if he's gonna scale him back and depower him and all that other stuff. I thought Hickman kind of balanced that out really well, where Franklin's not necessarily used to his powers 100% all the way, so he's still learning.
But in Fantastic Four by Hickman, you get a lot of time displacement stuff with future Franklin coming back and future Franklin showing that he has tons of powers. But you're right, in Secret Wars, he's like a god practically. He's creating worlds, and Reed's hurling them into the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be really interesting to see where it is that he takes that. I like I said, I like the general overall tone of the first issue. It's fun, it's playful, which is kind of what I was expecting from Dan Slott if you've read a lot of his other stuff. My thing is, I think he played it a little bit too safe for a first issue. I would have liked to have seen him take a few more risks, bring back the Fantastic Four, establish a few more things. This felt more like, and yeah, it's the first issue and stuff like that. This felt more of like catch up. Hey, we're catching up with all these different characters. We're making sure that you know where they've been at this whole time. We're setting up the thing who's proposing, which I actually thought that was really cool. And I really dug that. I really like that, and I really enjoy that. And I was like, wow, that makes sense. How long have they been together?
Since 1963.
Yeah, and is this the first time that somebody's actually taken it that far? Where like, yeah,
I think so.
So I like that. I like that concept, and he's introducing that. I just wish that, one, I wish he would have introduced the actual Fantastic Four together at the end of this issue, because we don't get them. And two, I wish he would have taken a few more risks. Which we know Slott, later on down the line, he's going to do that. He's going to take more risk, and he's going to give us something.
Right. The chat is saying there was no wow factor.
Right. It was a very straight by the books, safe issue.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good, but at the same time, I expected something more.
Yeah, I can see how people were disappointed. I didn't have any expectations of anything, but I did expect them to show up. But after how long they've been gone, I liked how the big four in the atmosphere signaled that they were alive and trying to figure out how to get home.
Right.
So it gave me hope, and I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. I'm at a place in my life where I look forward to more upbeat and fun comics rather than the grim dark stuff. Don't get me wrong, I love the grim dark stuff. So this is right up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me a lot of his Silver Surfer stuff, where it was more fun and upbeat, and it was like playing with all these cosmic things and going into space and things like that. And it's only the first issue, so like I said, I'm genuinely excited to see where he takes us.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm on board as long as there's no more $6 issues.
Too many crickets.
But yeah, we're talking Fantastic Four. Just kind of let's take it back in time a little bit. You were around when the Fantastic Four first came around, weren't you?
Yes, I was, and I'm pissed that I didn't buy all those early issues like I should have. But yeah, and I remember it was pretty mind-bending.
Yeah.
It was as I recall, it was their response to the Justice League. If I'm remembering properly, I'm sure there are historians in the chat that will correct me, but they wanted a team book. And I do remember reading it. That and Spider-Man were the two books I liked as a little kid. I was mostly a DC guy, but I did like Fantastic Four and Spider-Man. Did not particularly care for Thor. I didn't care for Thor at all because it was way too many these and thous and verilies and I smite thee, and I'm like, what is this? As an 8-year-old kid, I was like, what the hell are we talking about here?
Yeah. For people on the top, old Thor, very hard to read. Very hard to read.
And so was X-Men. X-Men, the first 30 issues of X-Men, 40 issues of X-Men were pretty hard to read too. I thought as a young reader. But yeah, Thor was impossible. But yeah, Fantastic Four and Spider-Man were the things I read off and on throughout my teenage years. And then I picked them back up. I never got back into Fantastic Four. Oh, I read Mark Waid's Fantastic Four. I thought that was really good. I'm trying to find it where I put it. Oh, it's right here. I liked Mark Waid's Fantastic Four, although the art was a little cartoony for me, but I did enjoy it a lot. Mark Waid's Fantastic Four was really good. I am not getting the omnibus because I have the oversized hardcovers.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed this a lot too.
I've never read his run.
Oh, it's really good. Yeah, I really liked it a lot. I'm not like Ryley where I could tell you what happens on page 4, panel 5, but I can just tell you that I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
That might be the book that got me back into Fantastic Four, was Waid's run. I enjoyed reading it. I still haven't read Fraction's run. I understand it's split. Like half of it's supposed to be good. Yeah, half of it's supposed to be good, and then Fantastic Four is not good, but FF is good.
Yep.
That's fine. I'll read it and figure it out for myself. That's fine.
Which makes me wonder how much Mike Allred had an influence on the FF stuff, because this Fantastic Four stuff was horrible. It was terrible.
Fractions was?
Yeah, it was pretty universally panned, but his FF stuff was very much well liked, and Allred was on that book doing art. So I'm kind of curious to see if Allred was also co-writing that book. Because I love Allred's writing. I love his art, his writing. His wife does, I think, the coloring for him too.
Right. Kevin Sason's asking if I've read Miller's FF run. I have not. I do own it. Take a shot. Those of you playing the game out there. I do own it, but I haven't read it. I may be on a FF Jag here now. Maybe I will start reading some more FF. after I read Heathen and Sidekick by Paul Jenkins, because I want everybody to be happy, especially Trigonosis.
Especially Trigonosis.
Yeah, he's the one, and Kemi are the ones that want me to read Paul Jenkins' Sidekick. So after I do I'm going to try and do a vid tomorrow morning, and I still have to read the Shield books to finally finish up, and Hickman's run, and I got to go through those Ultimate books again, because I have a feeling those Ultimate books must tie in somehow to the Ultimate's world that ends up getting ready to collide with ours,
right?
In Secret Wars. So I need to flip through those again. I read them really early. I think I read them back in June. So of course, knowing my terrible memory, I got to reread them again anyway.
Right. It's the Ultimate stuff, Hickman's Ultimate stuff, ties in that you find out what happens to Ultimate Universe's Reed Richards, because, again, spoilers for Secret Wars, like a 2-year-old event, because I know there's somebody in the chat that's going to go, oh, fuck you.
I love your nerd voice. It's so great.
Reed Richards is a bad guy in that universe. He becomes a colossal dick in that universe.
A young Reed Richards who's a jerk and smarter than the Earth 616 Reed Richards. He seems to be extremely intelligent. But yeah, he's a bit of a douchebag. Yeah.
Because he's been around longer, because he figures out how to become immortal. So he's lived such a long lifespan. So he's learned pretty much everything, and he becomes a colossal asshole.
Yeah, there's not a lot of love from me for Reed Richards in Hickman stuff. There's an awful lot of jerky Reeds running around, including 616's Reed. He keeps a lot of stuff from Sue. He's in the Illuminati. There's all kinds of stuff that I'm not a. I mean, I get that he propels the story forward and stuff, but he's not the nicest character. He's not Namer by any stretch, but he's not the nicest character.
No, he's not. I like the fact. What I like so much about it is that Hickman explores a lot of different concepts, especially the relationship between father and son.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we're getting into kind of like the Hickman stuff, we're jumping ahead here, guys. He really gives it a great dynamic where you see that his father really wasn't there in his life. He was an absentee father, and the Ultimate Universe's Reed Richards is kind of a cautionary tale of what happens when you don't have a father figure in your life, or your father figure is a colossal asshole, and all this other stuff. And it's interesting to see how at the end of Hickman's run, Reed is like, you know what? I kind of have to be a better dad. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, my son, who is basically a god, is going to go down a really bad path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's interesting that his dad shows up, time traveling type of thing in Hickman's run too. Just like Franklin shows up. Franklin and Val show up back and forth messing with the time stream. Time stream means nothing to Hickman. I mean, people just drop in and out like that, messing with the time stream, and it doesn't seem to affect anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reed's dad shows up on occasion, and Franklin shows up on occasion, and Val shows up. And I think the coolest thing about the Fantastic Four was that Council of Reeds, Council of Reed Richards, that I think he built the bridge and entered that, and that's where he discovered all the Reed Richards that had come together to solve the universe's problems, or the multiverse's problems.
Right.
I believe that's what the bridge was built for. And he promised Sue he was going to take it down, and he didn't, of course.
Of course. It's a guy thing.
Yeah, right.
I'll take care of it. No. All right, so what is your favorite Fantastic Four
run? Boy, that's hard. I really loved Hickman's. I loved Wade's. I haven't read Miller's. I read Stan Lee's. Now let's see. Walt Simonson also did Fantastic Four. I haven't read Fractions, and I haven't read and you told me I shouldn't. But it may be because it's fresh in my mind, but I love Hickman's Fantastic Four.
Okay.
I think I don't know. It had everything I wanted. It had majorly big, high concept scientific anomalies and time travel, and Reed being a jerk, and just the whole relationship with Val and Franklin and what they're capable of. Now I'm not clear on one concept because I'm not a huge Marvel reader. Where does Val start calling him Uncle Doom and start buddying up to Dr. Doom? Is that in Hickman's run, or is that beforehand?
That's beforehand. Gabe would be able to tell me better, but
yeah,
I believe that's beforehand because I was wondering that too when I first read that. I was like, Uncle Doom, like what's the relationship here? What's the connection? That I never made that. I just kind of like comics. I just went along with it. I was like, all right, well, something happened eventually, and I'm just like, all right, yeah, it's cool. I'm not gonna let this ruin my enjoyment of this book. But I think, okay, so for those of you that haven't read Hickman's run, the general premise of Hickman's run, since we're talking about this a lot tonight, is that Reed Richards wants to solve everything. He wants to solve the problem of everything, like every single problem in the universe. And he eventually opens up this gateway. And in doing so, he discovers that there are a bunch of these other guys forming the Council of Reeds, which are the different Reeds from different universes. And he finds out, wow, you guys are a council of dicks. Most of you guys are big assholes, bigger assholes than me. Eventually, the Celestials find out, and they crash the party pretty hard, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And damn, that's about as much as I can remember, like straight up off the top of my head, continuity-wise, because there's a lot of stuff that happens there.
Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff that happens in it. Yeah.
So, but that's the general setup of Hickman's Fantastic Four, and he builds up from there. Then you've got the Inhumans, which get involved into it, the Moloids, the Mole Man, this huge
the Mole Man.
This huge machine that gets it. It's so grand in scale and so impressive. It really is the best Fantastic Four I've read since Jack Kirby and Stan Lee in terms of his ideas and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That said, Jack Kirby and Stan Lee's run still nudges it out for me.
Mm-hmm.
I love. You can't beat Kirby.
No,
you just can't. And the imagination that came from that guy's mind, it's Hickman is brilliant in terms of concepts and grand scale and ideas, but in terms of just pure unbridled fantasy sci-fi imagination, you just can't beat Kirby.
Nash Villains is giving us a good rundown of the Doom Valeria relationship. In what run was that, Nash Villains? Who is the writer for that? Can you tell us that? He's giving us a really good rundown.
I would really like to go back and read that.
Yeah, I would too. He's given the full rundown here on the relationship. So who wrote it and how recently was that? Come on, we're waiting. Let's go, Nash Villains. Clock is ticking. Phenomena. Phenomena.
Anybody? No?
Hello? Bueller?
Mark Waid's FF was so good, I'd say it's the best starting place for modern FF. I think you could start with Hickman.
I agree with Curtis that Mark Waid's FF, that's where I started, and that's where I got the most out of it, I think.
Do you think Hickman's a bit too much to start with?
I think so, yeah.
Wow.
I think you need to have a little bit more comic book reading under your belt before you can attempt anything by Hickman.
Okay.
He is like the most cerebral writer with so many high concepts and so many things going on that I would think I would start with Wade also. That's a good idea.
Would you say Hickman is this generation's Grant Morrison?
I don't think anybody's this generation's Grant Morrison. I think that I think he is,
because you'd be surprised how many times I've heard people say he's this generation's Grant Morrison.
well, I'd say that if Grant Morrison wasn't still writing, but he is. But I get what you're saying. I think that he's more understandable in a kind of high concept way than a lot of Grant Morrison's really out there ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Hickman writing a book like Nameless, like Grant Morrison did, which is you've got to actually buy other books to read to understand Nameless, and that's totally not me. I want to read the comic book and understand it. I don't want to have to go not just Wikipedia, but buy other books to understand the concepts. Nameless, I didn't even understand a single thing of it, and I'm sure there are people in the chat that understood it and can teach it in college. Good for you guys. That's not me. That's just wasn't me. But I don't see Hickman writing that. He's got out there concepts, but I think they're grounded in some sort of understandable way.
Yeah. He doesn't go too far out there.
Yeah.
To the point where it's almost incomprehensible, or you need to read like a college thesis paper to understand what he's getting at. But he's just enough to where, okay, this is obviously something really big. And by the way, Jess, you're just going to get somebody in the comment section going,
actually, just brag. You didn't know it was this. You need to read this, and this to understand Nameless.
There's always the one guy.
I don't know. Okay, good. Nash Villains, we're still waiting. Where are you?
Morrison is just on another plane of consciousness than us mere mortals.
I think he's right.
I really think he is.
I think a lot of writers are really good writers of prose books, comic books, anything, newspaper articles. They think differently, and that's why they're writers. They think differently, and I totally agree. Grant Morrison just absolutely thinks differently, and it's up to us to try and ratchet it up and meet him at some point. But he's got to meet us too at some point.
Kind of getting off track. What do you think is his most digestible book?
Grant Morrison?
Yeah. Like if you were to have to handing somebody Grant Morrison light, like you don't start off with The Invisibles.
Right.
You want distilled Grant Morrison.
Well, Ryley will probably kill me for not saying Animal Man. But Klaus is extremely accessible.
Yeah.
I
would even say Animal Man is just a wee bit too much for certain readers.
To be a beginning reader, I don't think I would recommend Animal Man. I think you have to have a little bit of comics under your belt. It's fantastic. I don't disagree with that. I thought his Wonder Woman was accessible. I think the book Happy is accessible. Let's see. I already said Klaus. Joe the Barbarian, I think, is accessible.
Oh, great choice. Yeah, that would be my pick.
Yeah, that's just out there enough, but it also makes sense.
Yeah. And Sean Murphy's art.
Yeah. New X-Men, yeah, that's a good choice too. Wasn't it Pacheco Marin? We don't know, Nash Villains. We're asking you. You're the authority here. You are now the Fantastic Four authority, and we are asking you.
I'm excited for his Green Lantern. I hope he goes
I am too.
All just crazy cosmic Grant Morrison. That's what I want from his Green Lantern.
Yeah, his Sledge is saying his Batman and Robin. His Batman was accessible, but it still introduced the concept of Bat God. New X-Men was what made me fall in love with Emma Frost and the Stepford Cuckoos, so that has a special place in my heart.
He writes a good Emma Frost.
Yeah, and that creation of those Stepford Cuckoos, I love. That's one of my top books. Is that?
Yeah, his new X-Men is probably All-Star Superman is my favorite thing he's ever written. His new X-Men is my second favorite thing.
Yeah, and We Three, that's a good call, Crazy Jane. All-Star Superman, you just said, yeah, that's brilliant stuff. That is accessible. Yeah, you could hand that to a new reader. I don't know if I would hand We Three to a new reader, but it is his more accessible Grant Morrison type stuff.
I've never read.
You haven't read We Three?
No, I haven't read it because I hate animal abuse. So I don't know if I could get through it. I can't stand it. Honestly, I can't.
Well, I don't want to say anything then.
Yeah, I can't. It's one of those things where I'm just like, it puts me in a bad mood.
Yeah, well, right.
So, but I want to. It's one of those where I've always meant to read it, but it'll just put me in a bad mood for the rest of the day, and I hate seeing animal abuse. There's
Michael Curry, who sent me a great gift yesterday. He sent me a David Bowie special album, plus a frameable, awesome picture drawing of Harley Quinn, which I am framing. It is awesome. Thank you, Michael Curry. I really appreciated that. That was really special that you thought of me. I really appreciated it. And I saved the letter, and it's going in my Omnidog scrapbook with all my fan mail.
That's awesome. That's really awesome, man. But yeah, we were talking about, kind of to get back on it, Hickman's Fantastic Four. And I dug it all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to get through the first few issues, because the first few issues is setup. A lot of it is set up, and I think, to me, that's one of Hickman's worst things, where he reads better in collected edition because he is setting up so much stuff. The payoff is 9 times out of 10 always great. It's just getting there, it's sometimes a little bit difficult, at least to me.
Mm-hmm. I didn't have any problem with that, but I think more than Secret Warriors, Fantastic Four and Hickvengers, you have to read Secret Wars that ties it all up. Yeah. So I get what you're saying. It's all set up for Secret Wars, almost, it seems like. Gabe isn't on this show because he has to work. He's closing up tonight. Yeah, otherwise this would be a natural show for him to be on. But yeah, I can see what you mean by setup. I feel like Secret Warriors was a self-contained thing, but Fantastic Four and Hickvengers had to have Secret Wars to wrap it up.
Now, did you ever read the John Byrne stuff?
John Byrne Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
No.
Neither.
No.
I've never gotten a chance to read them. I've always heard that what he does with Sue Storm is really good.
Oh, really?
He makes her more of a proactive member of the team. He makes her more offensive in her abilities and things like that. So I've always meant to sit down and read it. Although John Byrne, I've heard he is now just a crotchety old man.
I heard that too.
Who's a bit racist from what I've heard.
I haven't read that. I didn't know that.
I forgot what he said, something about when they casted what was her name as Sue Storm, Jessica Alba. He said they hired a Puerto Rican whore or something like
what?
That. I forgot. It said something along those. Somebody in the chat will correct me and say it right, but yeah.
Okay. Nash Villains is saying Fantastic Four Volume 3, number 50 by Pacheco Marin. Thank you, dude. So that's where we get Valeria's relationship with Uncle Doom.
Finally. Thank you.
Jess, he has become very racist. Don't look it up. Oh, dear. I have to say that I liked his Superman run, John Byrne, The Man of Steel. But I don't know that I want to read. And I haven't read it. It's Fantastic Four. But right now, after reading Hickman's Fantastic Four, I don't know that I want to go back to just regular superhero comics, which is what I feel like Byrne might have written with his Fantastic Four. I'm not saying that out of anything other than a gut instinct. That's just my feeling, is that Byrne is a traditional comics writer, not up to the level of Hickman, and that. But although Omar swears Byrne's Fantastic Four is amazing, so I don't know. I've already bought and sold volumes 1 and 2 once, so I don't know if I'm going to get it again. I never even opened them up. I just thought, I just don't even want to read it. I'm sure it's just superhero stuff, and I'm not in the mood for regular superhero stuff. What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Jess? I feel I explained myself.
What are you in the mood for right now after something like that? Something a little bit more cosmic still? Are you still into that mindset?
Actually, I'm in the mood for something a little more simple. That's not superhero related. That's why I want to read Sidekick and Heathen. Although Sidekick sounds like it's superhero, but it sounds like it's funny. I want to read Sidekick and Heathen just to kind of let my mind settle back down, because reading Hickman is, I mean, he pushes the envelope hard, and it is a challenge to keep up and understand his stuff. I feel.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to read something simple, just pick up any Kirkman book.
I said simple, not stupid.
Yeah, I was gonna say something. Never mind. Where's that werewolf omnibus, man? You still got that somewhere, right?
No, I dumped root beer on it.
I mean, yeah, just pick up a Kirkman book. You know, his character is bipolar. They swing from left to right emotionally. He's doesn't know how to build up things correctly. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. Anyway, I don't think we'll ever have Kirkman on this show.
Oh my god, I have no desire.
Yeah. So, do you feel everything Hickman writes is overreaching to multiple stories and themes?
I think he said overarching.
Overarching, Jesus, my illiteracy.
And you're a teacher.
Let's not talk about that. A long week. What do you think, Jess?
Yeah, I agree with that.
So you think he was building up Secret Warriors all the way up to Secret Wars this whole time, or do you think it just fell into place?
I feel like it was all layered on top of each other. They gave him the keys, as I said, to the Marvel Universe, and said, do whatever you want, including kill the whole thing, and we'll start over. And he started with Secret Warriors and then just built from there.
Now, do you feel that he gave Marvel an out at the end of Secret Warriors? By the way, we're talking about Secret Warriors and Hickman's a lot tonight because he ties in so much into the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, there's a lot of Fantastic Four.
Yeah, one could argue Secret Wars is pretty much all Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Do you feel he handed the keys to Marvel and said, "Look, I've given you the reset button.
Yeah.
Start fresh with everything wiped clean." But Marvel decided to pull back at the last minute.
Yeah. I think he had to. You can't just get rid of Marvel Comics. It was a chance for a hard reboot, and that's what they did. I just turned to the part where Molecule Man, who's always starving, confronts both in Secret Wars, both Richards, the jerk Reed Richards and then our Reed Richards show up for Molecule Man, and Molecule Man slices Dick Reed Richards into pepperoni and eats them. I thought that was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then restores Reed back to from gorilla descent.
Yeah.
Or rhesus monkey or whatever he was had happened to him by the jerky Reed Richards.
I like that he practically saves Miles because Miles gives him a hamburger.
Yeah, that he had in his pocket for 3 weeks.
That thing is old.
Yeah. So yeah, he gave him an out, but he gave him a fresh start out, and I think Marvel did the best they could with it. I don't know what came after Secret Wars. Was that all new, all different, or was it? Okay, wait, I'm getting them mixed up. Marvel Now. What happened?
There was like 3 all new, all Marvel Now crap that they kept pumping out every year, and eventually everybody got tired, and that's probably why Axel Alonso lost his job. What came after Secret Wars? Was it all new?
All
Marvel
different?
All new, all different?
I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't remember. I felt after Secret Wars, I fell off hard from Marvel until about a few weeks ago. Now I'm back on the Marvel train. It's good. There's some really good Marvel books right now.
Yeah.
Like really good. And we could kind of talk about that in a little bit.
The newest ones, like all the issue 1s that have come out?
There's some really good stuff, Jess.
See, I haven't read any of them except for Fantastic Four.
Marvel is they've got Cebulski running the show now, and I personally feel Marvel's the best it's been since early Axel Alonso era.
Wow, so what are you really liking?
Immortal Hulk. The Hulk book is fantastic.
Who's writing that?
Al Ewing.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah. The Immortal Hulk book is probably the best thing that Marvel is putting out right now. In my humble opinion, I dig the ever loving hell out of that. It's a horror book. It's fantastic. It's a great read. It's a very back to basics approach, and I like the fact that Al Ewing is taking it back to like old school concepts, like he turns into the Hulk at night. I like the fact that he's basically made the Hulk as intelligent as Bruce Banner.
Okay.
So it's a lot of cool and interesting concepts that Al Ewing is playing with, and it's only a few issues in, and I'm digging that a lot. What else have I read?
I'll be reading that next summer when it comes out.
Cosmic Ghost Rider. It's fantastic. It's a fun series.
Okay, is that the same Ghost Rider as from when Thanos wins?
Yes. Yeah.
I love that. I love that Ghost Rider.
Yeah, and Cates is writing it. You know,
perfect.
Yeah, Cates is Marvel's go-to guy right now. He is probably their best writer right now. He is absolutely crushing it on every book he's putting out right now. That's been good. I have Ta-Nehisi Coates' Captain America, which I've heard is actually not bad. I've got the first 2 issues on my tablet. I haven't sat down and read that yet. I've heard Nick Spencer's Spider-Man is really good, and it's got Ryan Ottley on art, and Ottley's art is great.
And I like Nick Spencer. I loved his Ant-Man.
It's fun stuff. What else? I know I've read something else from them. We talked about his Thanos. You and I discussed Cates' Thanos run, which I think is brilliant.
I thought so too.
So much fun. Like Lemire's Thanos was good, but Cates' Thanos is so much better.
Totally agree.
And Cosmic Ghost Rider is pretty badass, and he's a lot of fun.
Nice.
But as far as that's what I'm reading right now for Marvel. I'm back on the BPRD train, and I've caught up to this latest issue. And I guess, okay, if you're not caught up with BPRD, spoilers. But HB is back. Hellboy's back. He is back from hell. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of got a little tear in my eye when I saw him reunited with some of the old characters. I was like, oh, wow, they brought him back. Including, you get a appearance by a certain character which hasn't been in the book in a long time. Like a really long time. And I was like, wow, they're bringing him back too, to a certain extent. And we get original Mike Mignola art. That was a big surprise.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a few. It's not much. There's a few pages in there where it's a page turn and you go, oh shit, like this is original Mike Mignola art, stuff we haven't seen since Hellboy in Hell. Like, what was that?
And
5 years ago?
what is the name of this book?
This is BPRD, The Devil You Know, and this is the continuation after Hell on Earth. So Hell on Earth is done, and this is the final act of the BPRD Hellboy universe.
Oh,
and
it is.
Yes. And I was watching a interview with Mike. It was probably a few months old. It was probably like 3 months old. And he said, going forward, the Hellboy universe just kind of expanded so much, and he's kind of funneling everything in back to end the universe as it is. But just because the Hellboy universe is ending, he's going to continue telling 1950 stories. So, like, you know how he's got the 1955 stuff, the 1956, where he goes years and years. And he's like, there's a huge chunk of time there where I want to cover that stuff. And I want to cover those Hellboy stories. And I want to tell those stories. So I'm super excited about that. He's pulling everything in a lot. And I would honestly say if you have not read BPRD, The Devil You Know, the newest arc, is not a good place to start, because there are so many things. He's pulling things in from Hellboy in Hell, from early BPRD stuff, from the Frankenstein stuff, from the Witchfinder stuff. Everything seems to be culminating into this book, and he's funneling it into the end game.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. It's 8 issues in, and I love it, and I love everything that he's doing with it. Varvara, I don't know, how far did you get into BPRD?
I got up to volume 3, Plague of Frogs, and then comes 1946 to 1958 or whatever it is, and then I need to read Plague of Frogs 4.
Yeah.
And then I need to follow. That's something that I should I need to. I admittedly I dropped the ball on my Hellboy readathon, but there's so much.
Yeah.
That I just got kind of fizzled out on it, but I'm renewed, and I think I may read the 1948 or whatever it is. I can't see it because Hellboy's pop is blocking the spine there. I need to read that, and then Plague of Frogs, and then I'll go on from there.
Yeah. It's so you haven't met the character Varvara, right? Varvara, like a little doll?
Not that I remember.
Okay. She comes back in this arc and plays a huge prominent role. And I'm really excited. Look, I've been reading Hellboy for a long ass time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's impressive to me that Mike and company are still able to pump out so many damn good books.
Mm-hmm.
Even after it's been close to 30 years that he's been writing Hellboy?
Has it been that long?
It's gotta be close to it.
I think it started in the 90s.
Yeah, it started 91, early 90s, 91, 93, I want to say.
Christ, this is a long time.
So it's impressive to me that Mike is still able to come up with these concepts and mind mythology and mind stories, and just keeps pumping out so many damn good books. And each one of them I enjoy even more. I just read his Rasputin tie-in book, which even greater. It ties into the beginning of the BPRD, because it's not only a Rasputin book, it's also the story of how Trevor Brutenholm, Hellboy's father, first got into becoming a paranormal investigator. And that ties into Rasputin getting the artifact, which leads him into discovering Hellboy and the Urdu Jihad and all that other stuff. I just picture Mike's house just covered with strings like a fucking crazy person.
Like Hickman.
Yeah, it's just impressive. It's just impressive, honestly.
Yeah, I need to get back on the Hellboy readathon. There's time.
I would love him to bring back Daimo. I love Daimo. Yeah, so that's where we're kind of catching up on Hellboy. But I love the universe. I have such a fondness for that universe, and it's gonna be a real sad day for me when Mike decides to close the book on everything involving it.
Yeah, you may be the biggest Hellboy fan I know.
I love it. I can't get enough of it. So
Yeah.
I read that. That's good. What else have I been? I've been reading a lot of junk lately. Started Black Bolt.
I liked Black Bolt. I know you were a little underwhelmed.
I am. I'm 4 issues into it so far. I dig it. I think it's more the art that I don't care for. I forgot who the artist is, but I'm not a fan of the art too much.
Interesting. I enjoyed the art. There's 2 books of it, and I think you'd be hard pressed to find a character that has the shit beaten out of him more than Black Bolt in this whole series. I mean, in the Marvel universe, he just goes through the ringer, especially the emotional, mental ringer in volume 2 of that series.
I haven't gotten it.
He just gets pinned to the wall.
Really?
Yeah, it is rough.
It's that bad.
I mean, it's bad on him. It's great writing. I love the story, but yeah, they beat him up pretty good mentally and physically.
Huh. Okay, I'm gonna keep sticking with it because I like what I've read so far. I think it might be one of those books where it was just a wee bit too overhyped for my taste because everybody was saying, "Oh, this is incredible! It won Eisner Awards and stuff like that." And I read it and I was like, "It's okay."
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it as it goes on. I think you'll especially enjoy volume 2.
Yeah, it gets better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Volume 2 is really good. And you don't need to read the Royals if you don't want to. There's a teeny crossover, teeny tiny crossover that can be completely ignored. The Royals is good. I enjoyed it. But it doesn't need to be, you don't have to read it to enjoy Black Bolt.
Well, that's good to know because I really am not in the mood to buy like 8 different books from Marvel right now.
Yeah, no, you don't need to. I mean, I just did because I like the Inhumans. So
what have you been? I mean, I've kind of been rambling on a little bit, but what have you been reading?
Well, really just the Hickman stuff, and I've been rereading All New Wolverine because I want to do a video on her this weekend. I feel like that run needs more attention. I love that run, all 6 volumes, so I want to do a vid on that too. Really, it's been that and the Hickman stuff. I'm trying to think, and I told you I read Avengers World. I'm not quite done with it, but I'm about 3 books into it today. There's 4. And I read volume 2 of Black Bolt. I read the Royals last weekend. I'd have to go back and look at my vids to see what I read. Because although I didn't do that many reviews, I did more. I did like a top 10 list, and then I guess I did a review of Black Bolt and some other stuff. I'm looking around. It's been mostly Marvel thin trades that I've been reading because I can blow through those and get the whole story, blow right through those and get the whole story, and then set them down, and then I can go back to Hickman, not having lost my place. So I've been reading a lot of Marvel thin trades, and I said this last night, and I'm going to say it again because I keep forgetting it. What I really got to do is I got to catch up on all my DC Rebirth.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a ton of Volume 2 deluxes that have to be read. I've got at least 5 of them, and I have got to read those along with Venom Omnibus and Carnage Omnibus and some other Omnibus and things like that. So yeah, this has been good to read all this Hickman this summer. This was a worthy readathon. I was really pumped on it.
Do you have a choice for next year's readathon?
I have a choice for the winter readathon.
Ooh, what do you got?
That's going to be Cosmic Marvel.
Oh, that's a big chunk of book, man.
Yeah,
a lot.
It is. I'm not even sure where I start and what it's going to encompass. I know Annihilation and Conquest, and then I know War of Kings, Return to Road of Kings, Realm of Kings, War of the Road, Roses of the Kings, whatever all those books are. These 3 books here. I need to read them. I think it's 5 Omnis. that I need to read. If I'm correct, there does not need to be any thin books like Guardians of the Galaxy, because Guardians of the Galaxy is already included in these War of Kings books.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's 5 Omnis. And I proved to myself that I can read 5 Omnis by doing the Hickman readathon. So I think December 1st is when I'm going to start those. That's what I will consider my winter readathon, and give myself December, January, and February to read all those.
Bless your heart. I couldn't do it. My ADD would kick in way too hard. I'm just like, I have enough trouble keeping up with the books that I have right now.
Nash Villains is doing the Cosmic Run this winter too. We're twinsies.
There you go. You got a buddy to talk to about it.
Annihilation, Conquest, Road to War, War of Kings, Realm. Okay, good. I got all those. I'm ready to go.
When that trade comes out though, for Venom, Kate's run, must buy.
Okay, you've enjoyed that so far?
4 issues into it, and it's kick-ass. It's fun. It's great. What Kate's is doing with the mythology is brilliant. I love it. How he ties into Thor, Jason Aaron's Thor run, is fantastic as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, he ties it into Jason Aaron's Thor run in a way that makes complete sense, and it's badass.
Wow, okay.
Really good. And it's only 4 issues in. That's really good. What else? I know I wanted to mention something else. Oh, I picked up Harrow County. I haven't started it yet, though.
Oh, yeah, I've got all those volumes. There's like 8 of them.
Yeah. I picked up Harrow County, and I haven't started them yet. Were you the one that recommended Harrow County to me? Somebody did.
I'm going to save that for my October spooky readathon.
Ooh.
So I'm going to be reading Harrow County in October when I'm not watching spooky movies that you recommend. Starting with Hereditary.
You need to watch Hereditary. It's really good.
That's what I want to do. I want some occult scariness.
So that's pretty much, as far as what I've been reading, that's basically it. I've been reading a lot of stuff. And I'm going to sit down eventually and read Vendetti's Green Lantern run, which I've heard is really good as well, his Rebirth stuff.
I liked it.
Oh, you've read some of it?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Good. He just wrapped it up today, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
This week, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. You know, I liked a lot of Rebirth stuff. There's only a few things that I didn't like. I really liked a lot of it, and I know Riley's kind of fallen off it.
Yeah.
He definitely hates the Bendis stuff, which I guess doesn't surprise me. I'll give it a shot, but there's a bunch of Rebirth that I need to throw myself into, and I think I'm going to do it as soon as I'm done with this Hickman. I got to read Shield, and then I'll be done.
Oh, that's right, Shield. And did that finish? He finally wrapped that up, right?
Yeah, just in time for me to read it. Yay!
Jesus, man, that was a long time in the making.
Yeah, so I need to read that this weekend, and I'll do a review. I got a lot of reviews that I got to do.
You don't sound
a lot of root beer that I got to drink.
It's way too much root beer.
How dare you? You've tasted Frost Top. You know the wonder of it.
Oh, Frost Top is amazing, but it's so bad for you, Jess.
Oh, I know. That's why I just take small sips. I'm not chugging the whole bottle during a review. I just take it small sips.
Oh, man, it's really bad. It tastes fantastic, though. And the bottle is so big. You get so much for your money.
For like $1.
Yeah.
You'd think it'd be Rock Gut, but it's the best.
It's so good. All right. Chat, how's everybody doing? If you got questions for us, we're just kind of shooting the shit at this point. So go ahead and ask them while we're still here. What? 1 thumbs down. I guess they didn't like the Frost Top talk. See, maybe somebody's not a Frost Top fan.
What the hell? I'll thumbs down you, whoever it is.
Hey, maybe that's it. Somebody just doesn't like Frost Top. I don't know how, because it's delicious.
Good heavens, it's the stuff of gods.
It's such a smooth drink. Did I pick up Shaolin Cowboy? The opening bloodbath looks like something out of old Zatoichi, the Blind Swordsman Japanese movies. Look up the art. I've heard of Shaolin Cowboy. I haven't read it yet. it was always one of those books where I've meant to come back to. I've heard it's very light on dialogue, though. It's mostly art, but fun.
Hmm. Is that Jeff Darrow?
I want to say.
Or who's writing that? For some reason I feel like it's Jeff Darrow, but I'm not sure.
You know what? I've been dying to read, and I'm waiting for the October spooky season.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing is Monsters, or whatever that book was that came out last year.
Oh, that's great.
That's what it was called.
Yeah, my favorite thing is Monsters. It has nothing to do with spookiness.
What? Oh, that's disappointing.
I mean, it has monsters in it. Yeah, she depicts herself as a monster in the book. She feels so bad about herself.
Huh.
But yeah, it's mostly about race relations and her best friend making her feel bad and what it's like to be a little girl, losing her mom, having to rely on her brother. It's more of like her life. It's not about monsters. It's how she relates to the world through monsters. You can read that before October. If you read that book expecting to be scared, you're going to be sorely disappointed.
Ah, damn it.
It's a great book. I loved it. It was either 1 or 2 on my top books of 2017, but Monsters is just the way she relates to the world.
Damn it, Jess. You really killed my buzz now.
Sorry, dude.
No, I'm not going to read it. Never mind. I don't want it.
No, you should read it. It's a work of art.
No, somebody lied to me. I blame Nick. I blame Nick for all my problems in life. Damn it. I was really hoping that was a good horror book.
No.
Here's one for you, Jess.
Oh, so now that you have all the Kabuki library editions, will you be reading those soon, Jess? Maybe. I have a lot that I have to catch up on first. Rebirth first. And maybe I'll tackle those Kabuki editions.
Kabuki. Are there any good X-Men runs currently? No. I mean, I don't know. I haven't read anything X-Men in a long time.
I haven't read any current X-Men, so I can't tell you. I think Omar and Ryley both said X-Men Red was good, but I don't know what that means.
Isn't there X-Men Gold, X-Men Blue? Now there's an X-Men Red? Or there was an X-Men Yellow? I lost track, and I've given up. I give up on trying to keep up with X-Men.
Uh-oh. Nash Villains is saying Kabuki requires a bong and some LSD. I don't do either of those anymore. I'm in trouble. I don't even drink, so can I tackle this book sober?
Blue, gold, red, and black. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm not doing that. They're bringing back Uncanny X-Men though.
Yeah, there was lots of speculation, pointless speculation on the page today about it. Everybody's got their hair on fire because of the creative team. And at the very end of the chat, I just said, how about if we wait until the book comes out and see if it's good?
Who's the creative team?
I don't know. I don't even care.
You don't care?
Oh, Kelly Thompson. She's awesome.
What has she written?
Stuff.
Thanks, Jess.
I can't recall at the top of my head.
You're really helping me out. Hold on.
Tyler Trent, what else has Kelly Thompson written? I just got done with a book by her in June, and I forget what it was, but it was awesome.
Kelly Thompson. Let's see.
Yeah, tell me what she's written, and I'll tell you if I've read it.
Oh, let's see what we got going on. Miss Thompson, what have you written?
I haven't read Mr. and Mrs. X. I don't know that one.
She wrote Hawkeye with Kate Bishop, the one that I don't like.
Yes, that was awesome.
I can't stand Kate Bishop Hawkeye.
Oh, shut your whore mouth.
I can't stand her. I found her so annoying in Fractions Run.
Oh my God, she's so great in her own run.
Is she?
She really is. Yeah, I really dig her.
I couldn't stand her story in Fractions run. I thought it was the worst part of that run.
Our friendship is over.
I'm sorry, Jess. It's okay.
Rogan Gambit she's writing? That's supposed to be a good book.
She wrote Gem and the Holograms, Hawkeye, A-Force, and...
A-Force is great. I loved A-Force. Yeah.
Really?
It's totally fun. It's absolutely a blast. Huh. Yeah. It's all these female superheroes doing Nebula's, not Nebula. Shoot, I should go grab it right now so I can tell you about it. It's really good. What's her name? She's shoot. She's like a star system in her body, and it's not Nebula. It's some other thing. I should go get the book. It's really good. A-Force is really good.
Was she from Hickman's run? Is that who you're talking about?
No, you're thinking of Captain Universe.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
Let me see if I can, without damaging everything, let me see if I can go pull A-Force and tell you what it's about.
Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Gem and the Holograms. What else did you read? Ghostbusters, Deviation, Gem the Misfits, Creepy, number 20. She wrote Captain Marvel and the Carol Corps, A-Force, Hawkeye, Journey to Star Wars. Yeah, so she's written nothing that I've enjoyed or nothing that I've liked. So, oh, she wrote Lumberjanes or wrote
Singularity.
Huh?
Yeah, Singularity. That's right. This is how much I like X-Force. I got the box set of all the heroines in it.
Cool.
That I've left in the box. Lady Sif is in there. Singularity. Monica Rambeau. Elsa Bloodstone. Loki. She-Hulk. Yeah, it's really good. Wait, where's Captain Marvel? Why isn't she in here? Captain Marvel's on the cover of this one.
But she's not in the actual box.
She's not in the box.
You got to buy that one separately. She's getting a movie.
Yeah, and here's a really cool picture of what Singularity looks like.
Huh. Cool. All right, I'll check it out. I'll take your word of advice.
Yeah, these two books are excellent.
Didn't last long, though, right?
No, nothing good at Marvel lasts long. But this was all new, all different Marvel. And I just had a blast reading it.
Dazzler. No, I've never read a Dazzler book that I've enjoyed. I've never read a Dazzler book, period.
Well, read Dazzler in this because she's great.
Oh, she's in that one?
Yeah.
What book was it that made Dazzler a undercover agent or something like that?
Oh, yeah. Gabe's in the chat. He should be able to tell us.
There was a book that made her like an undercover spy or something like that.
Right. I don't remember that one. I mean, I remember that one, but I don't remember where it happens. I may keep this book out and read it again. I liked it so much.
Hey, there you go.
I want to look at my action figures some more. Singularity is cool. I love it.
I can go for about another 5 minutes, and then I gotta get going.
Okay, same here.
The missus is calling. I really like America Spectrum. I'm excited. Marvel and DC are putting out books and letting the readers decide what they want to read. I think that's always been the case. I do not hate awesome heroines. I don't.
Just little kid actors.
Hey, I saw that movie again the other day. She's still terrible.
Hater.
She is still horrible, and she should never act in this industry again.
Oh, fuck you.
That's damn true.
Even the dog agrees.
The dog's mad at you.
Quiet.
The Hulk has been good. Yeah, I talked about the Hulk earlier. I said the Hulk is probably the best thing Marvel's putting out right now.
That's exciting. I can't wait to read it.
It's good. It's real good.
He eats in diners as the Hulk.
No, not as the Hulk. Although that'd be pretty good to see. They'd have to bring out like the huge chairs and stuff like that.
Yeah. This would be a good time to talk about InStockTrades.com, where you can get up to 50% off your collected editions. Loyalty discounts can add 2%. They frequently have 3% off sales. OmniBros codes every quarter. Over $50 in the United States gets you free shipping. Fabulous packaging, fabulous customer service. That's InStockTrades.com.
In Stock Trades. I love them. I order from them. Can't get enough of them. Love IST.
We love IST.
Ho's probably fourth, which says how good Marvel is right now. Yeah, Marvel's been really firing on all cylinders since.
That's awesome.
They've been, dude, I'm telling you, they've been the best they've been in years. Like, there's a lot of detractors online, which we're not going to get into that right now, but don't listen to them. Marvel has been fantastic over the past few months. They've been crushing it.
I'm excited to see
I'm finishing JMS Thor tonight. Should I read Superior Spidey or Aaron's Thor next?
It depends. Do you want to wait? I think you should start with slots run at the beginning. Don't just jump into Superior Spidey, because there's a lot that builds up to that.
Yeah. I think Aaron's Thor is the best Thor ever, so I would recommend that.
Wow, that's a very strong recommendation. Over JMS?
I haven't read JMS. All I read Simonson's, and I read sort of tried to read Stan Lee.
You like it over Simonson's run, really?
I do, yeah. Simonson's was fun, but Aaron's was just, I don't know. It raised the hair on my arms. It was so good.
All right, but I got to get going, Jess.
Okay. Thank you to the chat. You guys were great tonight. Peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you very much. Please hit the like button. You can subscribe to us. You can listen to us on iTunes as a podcast and whatever else the Android equivalent is. I don't know. I don't have an Android, so I can't tell you. But thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you to IST for being our sponsor. Thank you to Luis for joining me. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Good night, everybody.